Go.
So point source is when pollution comes from like factories or pipes under the ocean, and non-point source is pollution caused by runoffs.
Alright, so three types of water pollutions are, the first one is water pollution, when some waste fertilizers and sewage contain high levels of nutrients. If they end up in water bodies, they encourage algae and weed to grow in the water. This will make the water undrinkable and can intoxicate people. Another one is the surface water pollution, and surface water includes natural water found in the Earth's surface, like rivers, lakes, lagoons, and oceans. Hazardous substances coming into contact with the ocean and the surface water, dissolving or mixing physically with the water, that can be called surface pollution. The third one is groundwater pollution, when humans apply pesticides and chemicals to soils so they are washed deep into the ground as rainwater. This gets into the groundwater, causing pollution from the ground, which means that the water is going to be contaminated and is unsuitable for people to drink, or animals to drink, or to be given to crops.
If there's too much nitrogen in the water, this will cause the algae to eat it and get bigger. And then it will create a cloud over the surface of the water, stopping sunlight from entering and hitting the organisms on the surface of the water. So these organisms that are dying, they are the keystone species food. And if they die, the whole food web will just perish. And overall, this will decrease biodiversity. A way to redeem eutrophication is just prevention, educating, creating laws to stop companies from dumping their waste into the water, and just emphasizing regulations more. Also, there's herbicides. We can clean up the lakes. We can pump in air, and if there is too much, if the water is contaminated, this will stop the water from mixing, and it will make the water more acidic.
Measure the population change of an individual indicator species. Scientists can draw conclusions about changes in level of certain populations. The most common indicator species to measure air pollution are leeches. Leeches absorb all the pollutants in the environment, and some leeches survive only in clean air. Some varieties of leeches survive better in presence of population than others. Scientists often take samples of different living things in water sources and use the species to access the level of population. Scientists can also use the species living in areas as the collective indicator species. This is because the highly pollution will not support a various range of